How's it going, everybody? I'm back at Starlight Drive-In with a quick build for you guys, kind of adding on to the junk wall that I did in the last video. I'm going to be adding a tower to that wall. So I'd mentioned that I had wanted to do something along the lines of building a tower on this junk wall that I had placed in there, and so that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be trying to build a tower, and this has actually got no cuts in it at all. This didn't take very long at all. I mean, almost half an hour, but there was no cuts or anything like that. I left everything in so you guys can see the whole process today. And so the first thing is I end up putting a staircase up to the plywood that's already in the junk wall, and then I just place a couple pieces of plywood that I wanted put down to kind of add some extra pieces to it to make it kind of stick out a little bit more. And then you can see there's some major lag issues right there a second ago whenever I went to the special tab. That happens sometimes whenever I begin building. I get some issues with the menus actually loading. And so right here I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I shouldn't have placed this floor down yet, but I did anyway. But I think it's because I expected to put down a staircase on this side, but I actually do something different. But I put that floor down because I do plan on having a walkway up there. And then on this side, I wanted to have a floor go out and stairs go up to that. But I ended up placing a floor down and decide that I wanted to have a staircase go up. And right there, that was the lag from the menus that I've been getting. And so, like I was saying, I wanted a staircase right along the side. And so I moved that out of the way. And then I moved the floor out a little bit. And I wanted it to snap in, and it wasn't quite doing that, so I just moved it out a little bit more, and eventually you can see that they snap in. And the biggest issue I have right here is the fact that that's not quite the height that is required to actually reach the top, so it's this weird height, because I want the floors to actually be flat on the top of that junk wall. And so right here it's me messing with the height of everything, trying to figure out how to get these at the right height. And so that's all I'm doing right here, is I'm just trying to get the height correct. And you can see I'm using the same wall over and over, but it's because, yeah, right there, how I just placed that staircase, it's because I wanted the floors to be at that specific height, because that's even with all of the junk walls. So I end up just placing a couple pieces of plywood to kind of connect this floor, and I kept falling off. I did the same thing 2 times in a row, and so I end up moving finally. But that's one of the probably most frustrating things that can happen while building, is just not being able to actually stay on your build. That happens so frequently with me, as I'll be building and then I'll just fall off of whatever build, especially the bigger ones, and it's really, really frustrating. And so right here, like I said, I was just trying to connect this staircase to that floor, and then up here I go ahead and pull all of these pieces in, and so I don't know why I got rid of that. I think that I really don't. I really have no idea why I thought I needed to get rid of that, and I could not get this to actually snap in, and so I should have kept it up there so that I could pillar glitch, or not pillar glitch, but use place anywhere. So right here, do not know why I moved it, because I immediately needed it again. And so right here I'm trying to line everything up, and you can see it's kind of a little bit off, but I move it back, and then as long as there's no texture glitches on the floor, that's about where I wanted it. So about right where it ended up, and then I just snap all of these to the piece on the end. And I was trying to get these to go a little bit farther to the left, yeah, so that I can snap all of these. And this is how my building process goes pretty often, is it's just trying to get certain pieces to snap correctly. And so if you can't get them to snap, or if you can't get them to go in the specific place that you want, that's when you have to start really using the pillar glitch and having to use place anywhere tool. I try to not use the place anywhere tool very often because I've mentioned before it's caused a lot of issues, crashes and stuff like that. I've lost recordings and I've lost builds because even if you save, if you haven't actually stopped recording at any point, which I've gotten in the habit of every single time I stop to save, I stop recording and begin recording again, like immediately, just because it does actually crash pretty frequently, and if you don't stop recording, it will delete the recording that you're currently making. And so I've gotten the habit of actually just saving frequently and then just stop recording and begin recording again instantly. And right here I'm actually just trying to figure out how exactly I wanted to do this side of it, or how far I really wanted to go out. So that's why I deleted that one floor piece. And then right here, after I decided this is as far as I wanted it to go, I noticed that there was a gap between both sides of these floors, so I was filling in the gaps on the floor, and right there I was looking to see how big the gap was, or if I really needed to do anything. And then this is kind of floating on this end, so I decided that I really needed to add some supports. And I can see whenever I was doing that, it wasn't really working, but I could see the height needed to be about even with that piece right there. What's the scaffolding? Jeez. It needed to be even with the scaffolding, kind of. And this was really giving me a hard time to get these in. But eventually I did get it to work, and yeah, so right there it actually went in. And to kind of make it look a little bit better supported, I used the supports that were added with unlock settlement objects. There's a bunch of unlock settlement object mods depending on what DLCs you have. I don't think that there's a season pass like some of the other mods in the game. So like Scrap That Settlement has a season pass mod, and a couple other mods do too. But I do not believe that unlock settlement objects does. There's a mashup pack, there's a pack for each of the DLCs, everything like that, which is really nice because if you have specific DLCs, you can download the ones that you can like actually use specifically depending on what DLCs you actually own. If you don't own any DLCs just because you didn't feel like buying them or something, I would highly suggest buying the DLCs for this game. The amount of stuff that you can build like from those mods or just from those DLCs is insane. Not even just the workshop packs, the actual DLCs. There's a lot of stuff that's added like solely because of those DLCs, and so if you don't have any of those, I highly suggest those to anybody playing Fallout 4. And I mean, if you can't buy them because you can't afford them or anything like that, that's fine. That's what mods are for, is to add some of the things that you don't quite have available. But just what you can get, I highly suggest getting, or if you can afford them and you are pretty frequent builder, I would highly suggest getting the DLCs, not even just for the gameplay, just for the workshop pieces. And since this is meant to be like a guard tower, I was trying to figure out how I really wanted to make it into like a guard tower. And so these corners, I just added some sandbags and I think I end up adding some. Okay, yeah, so I use the rug glitch to place these sandbags in, and I deleted the sandbags so that they would kind of clip down into the floor, just so that they don't quite look like they're just floating. That sandbags have an issue with that, so I use the rug glitch to just glitch those back into the floor a little bit. And then I cannot walk up these stairs, apparently. I've fell off of them about 1,000 times in this video already. And to make this a little bit more blocked off, I added some guardrails, and then I think I added some, quarry catwalk guardrails on the inside here because I kept falling off, and that's what these are for, like solely because I kept falling off. I'm not worried about settlers because I don't even think settlers will actually walk up these. These are solely just for me because I'm super clumsy. So right here I just use the railings from the concrete tab to kind of add a couple different things in here because I have a lot of the same textures kind of throughout this. Like right here there is like 2 sets of textures that are repeating, and I think I could have done that a little bit better, but I just placed down a couple guard mats, and since these are kind of clipping through the floor, they're kind of hard to actually like click on, but you can still click on them. And I downloaded a mod recently named Simple Settlers, and here's a tour in a second, but it adds names to all the settlers in the settlement. Man, I really like how this actually turned out. Man. And it was an issue where I couldn't actually assign my settlers, so now it just kind of works on and off assigning settlers. But I go in my settlement over here through the gate. The settlers use this gate actually pretty frequently, which is pretty cool. They tend to walk out and then walk down to that bus down the road for some reason. I do not know why. But from this side, you can see the tower, and I like the way that this looks. I thought it was pretty interesting. Let me know what you guys think. It's not a super complicated build, but yeah, I really like the way that it turned out. But yeah, I'll try to figure out what else I want to do in this settlement. I know that I want to do another junk wall on the other side, but we'll see. Let me know if there's anything that you guys want me to build specifically. I'll let you guys know in the comments if that's something that I'd be willing to do here. Because I'm pretty frequent about commenting back to everybody. But yeah, thanks for all the support, and let me know what you guys think. Check out some other builds while you're here. Subscribe if you're not subbed already, and if you are, thanks for being here. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.
You hear about that farm run by ghouls? Isn't that something?